broke.
Welcome, this is Younib TV News at 2. My name is Joseph Kamau.
And I am Maryann Gatu. Now, dozens of families are still stranded in their homes in Nyando sub-county as rescue attempts to continue relocating them to higher grounds after the river Nyando broke its banks. The Kenya Red Cross officials, Kenya Coast Guard Services, and St. John's Ambulance and the Kisumu Fire Department are utilizing boats to reach the submerged villages.
To the national government to come to the rescue of our people with the more than 15,000 families displaced. We need food items, we need clothing, we need medical supplies to aid our people. Lastly, I want to appeal to the national government, especially the Minister for Roads, that Nyando Bridge is almost being washed away. We have seen a very big crack on that bridge, and I want to ask the government to move with speed and assess the situation before it gets worse.
The assessment is huge problem. There's a huge problem here. Well over 15,000 households have been affected in this area.
Still on matters flood, at least 9 people have lost their lives. Sorry about that. At least 9 people have lost their lives in the last 24 hours due to floods, according to the Ministry of Interior, which has now brought the total deaths to 228. 3 more bodies were recovered from the Mahimahio tragedy site, pushing the death toll to 58, with eyesights now trailed on coastal towns as Cyclone Idaya is expected to hit, though with reduced strength.
The people who had lost their lives last Sunday were only 90. But today, as we speak, is 228. So that gives you a very serious number, a very serious increase of about 138 people. So you can see the total number of persons affected across the country, total number of people who are affected, this is not households, is actually 223,198. And so you can see clearly, over and above the households, people who are living in those households, you can see there is a very huge number there of about 12,000 who have been affected. Maybe they are the mamambogas, their kiosks and what have you, even if their houses may not have been flooded.
In areas that are not safe, are being asked to move to safer areas because we do not want to have this sort of a tragedy again, and especially when we all know what can happen out of that kind of a disaster.
Kuna shida ya mafuriko, tumepata Ngomongo iko na shida, kuna demu ambazo ziko za kibinafsi, pale Kiamolo tumetuma chief hapo, kule KAG Kiambogo, ile ya Kanjwiri. Nitataka tu kusihi watu wetu, wale ambao wana mahali maji inapita, kwanza waondoke. Usingoje ubebwe na maji, afadhali ukue uko safe, afadhali uende hata kwa chief.
We are in the process of planning about funerals for these people. Tentatively, we are talking about Wednesday for a memorial service next week, but we are waiting on some details. As we had promised, the national government, together with the county government, will be helping families with the burials. So we are waiting still to figure out together what that help will look like.
Those affected will be considered for social housing on a priority basis, and we are taking data. The State Department for Housing is leading this, of course working with the NGA officers, so that then we are able to know how they are going to be accommodated. To the escalating risk to citizens residing near the high-risk dams and water reservoirs, the government continues to effect the 24-hour evacuation notice issued on 2nd May. The government is facilitating logistical support, providing alternative accommodation and essential supplies to those affected.
And now a shocking incident on Saturday witnessed at the Kabirini village in Gishugu, Kirinyaga County, after a 29-year-old woman threw herself into River Nyamindi with her 5-year-old child on her back. Area residents, led by the woman's uncle, Stephen Maemba, said the motives of her actions remain unknown.
Mtu akizama hapa anakaa kwa siku 7 kabla mwili ujitokeze. Na sasa tumepiga ripoti kwa polisi na sasa tunaendelea kutafuta huyo mtoto, na tunaomba watu wa huko chini wakipata maiti ya huyo mtoto wakiwa na huyo msichana wakiwa na mtoto yake wapiga ripoti.
Asubuhi nikiamka nilikwenda Mbabu kunjioga. Nikirudi sikukuta msichana. Akajitupa majini Nyamindi.
Tukiteremka huko kwa Nyamindi tukaitwa huko kwa factory, ni Osman akatuambia ameteremka huko chini kwa maji.
Kwa sababu tumeshuhudia mkaza kama huo mwaka uliopita. Huenda ikawa ni msongo wa mawazo. Tunahitaji nasaha kwa watoto wetu kwa sababu kiendelea hivyo huenda tukapoteza wengi.
Now on matters crime, the family of a 30-year-old woman in Makueni County is seeking justice in an apparent mystery murder. The woman's body was recovered after she had gone missing for over 1 month. Police in Makueni are holding her husband as the main suspect.
Kataa mauaji ya wanawake, kataa. Pinga mauaji ya binadamu, pinga.
Ilitokea tu kwamba napigiwa mimi nikiwa Nairobi kazini, nikaambiwa kwamba dada Nuru haonekani. Nikaulizwa kama kaja kwangu, nikaambia hakuja kwangu. Nilipoona kwamba simu zimezidi, nilipatwa na shauku na nikaona bora nifunge duka niende zangu nyumbani, nikajue huenda akawa mwenyewe kapanga surprise nikujie tu. Katika hali ya kuja kutoka dukani kufika nyumbani, nafika nauliza watoto antenu amefika, wakasema hakufika. Tuliona tukaona zile alama ndiye, lakini nafsi inakataa asiwe ni yeye. Bado tunamsubiri atujie akiwa mzima wa afya. Lakini kudra ya Mwenyezi Mungu hatuwezi kuizuia na ni kadari ya Mwenyezi Mungu tunaikubali, ila ambalo hatulikubali ni kwamba kadhulumiwa dada yetu.
Baada ya haya yote kupitia, inaonyesha kwamba Nuru ndo alitupwa katika mto. Kwa sababu si kweli kwamba alikuwa amezama katika mto, kwa sababu katika mapafu ilikuwa hakuna maji ya kuonyesha kuwa alikuwa amezama. Kile tunachotaka ni DCI ifanye uchunguzi na kupitia na familia, marafiki ambao waliweza kushuhudia kabla, baada ama kulikuwa na fununu waweze kutoa ushahidi ili hii kesi iweze kuwasilishwa kotini na yule aliyetenda maovu kama haya aweze kuchukuliwa hatua ya haraka iwezekanavyo.
Now we are going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more news updates.
Welcome back. Now on matters health, the nurses may join doctors in a national-wide strike this week if the ultimatums spelled out are not addressed in 7 days. The Kenya National Union of Nurses issued a 1-week ultimatum to the Salaries and the Remuneration Commission and the Public Service Commission over the extension of the staff contracts for 2 years under the controversial terms, which previously brought the nurses into collusion with the authorities.
SRC being the body that seems to be causing the strikes in Kenya should not take more than 1 week without giving us a letter of no objection to the negotiated CBA for the nurses.
The Nurses Union has told the members that the government has agreed to absorb you. So they are triggering us to go on strike. If that is what they want, we will give them.
The multi-agency task force on transition of UHC met and observed that it was no longer tenable to have the UHC staff continue serving at the present terms as it contravenes the employment laws. The terms of payment of internship that is on today is the previous, and therefore we want to tell them nothing has changed according to our orders or the direction that we have got from the court. Our members are suffering. When they go to the hospitals, they cannot be treated because they are in arrears for the medical covers. They cannot get their pensions.
Now, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua will chair the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, where issues related to the flooding situation will take center stage. All the 47 governors have been urged to attend the 9 a.m. meeting at his current residence as an order of the counties most affected by the floods will be prioritized in getting support.
Tomorrow I have IBEC. Governor Matangi and all other governors, we want you to come. Come in person. It's a very important meeting tomorrow morning at 9. We have IBEC. In the afternoon, nitakuwa na mkutano with donors, with the private sector, with government agencies, with humanitarian agencies to discuss the interventions of the situation we find ourselves as a country. County ambaye imelemewa na mafuriko, we tupeana priority of disbursement of funds for emergency to you. Tumpatie pesa, mkuje mtumie hizo pesa na sisi tutumie tusaidiane. I'm putting my best foot forward so that what the president has asked me to do, I do. And that is why some of us have no time for petty politics. We are busy people. Tuko na kazi mingi sana ya kufanya. We have no time to listen to nonsense and theatrics and drama. We want to focus on the job.
Members of Parliament, we have no apologies to demand accountability, both at the national government level and at the county government level. When we point out those things, we don't point them out because we hate our governor or because we don't want to work with you, governor. We point them out because it is what we are elected to do.
Zile report za Auditor General zenye zimetolewa saa hizi ni zile za serikali zilipita. I am answering to the issues of zile serikali zilikuwa za kina Kabogo, serikali zilikuwa za kina Waititu, zilikuwa za kina Nyoro. That is the report that is out. So when we are saying we want to discuss about the issues of the county of Kiambu, let us be honest.
It pains me a lot when I see our leaders tearing each other. It pains me. This county is very important to President William Ruto and I.
And now, as we conclude, the family of Kenya Airways employee Lydia Orlando Malomba, who continues to be detained in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is now calling for more efforts more than 2 weeks after the detention of his family, led by veteran journalist Lionel Wachera. Narrates the efforts of the family, which hit rock bottom despite relatives and lawyers arriving in the DRC.
It's heavy now.
So we're really praying. We've been in a place of prayer, and of course we really trust in God, but we really need, by the grace of God, if the government can just come through and help us to find a solution for this so that our mom can come back. Because honestly, she has been devoted in our work.
Kulikuwa na zigo moja kubwa, sijui lilikuwa likienda wapi. Sasa akataka kujua stakabadhi ya lile zigo ni la nani, laenda wapi. Hilo ndilo lililokuwa kosa lake.
This is beyond KQ. This is where the government comes in as a citizen of Kenya, being held in a military facility.
Ningeomba sana watuweke mwangani, wafanye bidii angalau msichana yetu na mwenzake waweze kutoka kule, watolewe kule, warudi nyumbani.
maana hatujui shida iko wapi, ni nini. Hata waishie kuwa military, hiyo kama sisi inatusumbua kama wazazi. Kwa hivyo maombi yetu watoto wetu waweze kuachiliwa.
Now we have come to the end of our news. My name is Joseph Kamau.
And I am Maryann Gatu. Thank you for tuning in and have a lovely afternoon ahead.
Younib